Board. All right. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for getting on to our week 4 pre-camp meeting for your exciting week at Treasure Valley Scout Reservation. Everything is going really great here. Our staff is doing a great job. They're amazing, energetic. We've gotten a lot of great reviews for week 1. We've got a lot of exciting program areas to share with you. So we're going to take you through this presentation and get you all psyched up for camp. And a portion of this, we want to make sure we've learned a lot in week 2 of things that we have to make more efficient. So hopefully that will be with your week. And actually your week, traditionally week 2 has always been the biggest, but week 3 is definitely shaping up to be full as well. So all right, so we're going to get started. So Cam, why don't you start? All right, so we are just about 2 weeks away from your arrival. It's really important if you are adding scouts now or adults, please do it sooner rather than later. So a week before, so today I sent out an email to everyone coming week 3 to make sure that they update me on the number of leaders, the number of scouts, because we need a number to tell our kitchen staff so we can be prepared and have plenty of food for you. And Cam can make sure everybody fits into their merit badge classes. So you can start it now. We actually, we had a remind number in our program guide. Unfortunately, that had to get updated. So if you want to log into Remind, and it's a way that our camp staff and our admin can send out quick information to you, like say for example, this morning, it was pouring rain on us, so we canceled the morning flags and just sent everyone to breakfast. And, you know, if anything gets changed quick or we need to give you updates, it's a really good tool, and almost everyone here is signed up on it, and it's working really well. All right, can go. All right, so our check-in procedure. So our check-in window is 11:30 to 1 p.m. We hope that you don't arrive too early. I mean, you can if you're traveling a little bit further, but we really can't start check-in officially till 11:30. Our staff comes in around 9:30, and we go in, we check the sites, we clean up everything. So 11:30, the site guides will meet your unit up there. So you're gonna go past the main entrance of Treasure Valley to our big Jamboree Field entrance, and you're gonna go in there, and you wanna find a spot and get all your people grouped up together. And once everybody in your party is together, scouts and adults who will be participating, we will start you down the check-in process. So one of the first stops we're going to have you is the med check. And this this week, everything went very, very smoothly. Unfortunately, we had a lot of incomplete medical forms. So I can't stress the importance. You have 2 weeks. If you have your medical forms, please, please, please drop them in so our med team can go over them. Now, that being said, the check-ins, the med checks who went the most efficiently for even a huge unit of 35 people were the med forms that, no med forms through the email. Nope, and I'm going to get to that. So to answer that question. So it's really important that when you put your eyes on those med forms, you are the first line of defense to make things go quicker. And at this point, I'm going to take it over to our medic, our paramedic, Jay Gormley. He's going to pop in over here, and he's going to give you the rundown.
Hi, everybody. So yes, for the med check and the med forms and all prescription medications and all over the counters, to make it smoother, to make the process, all the forms have to be filled out completely in its entirety. So if it asks for a unit number, please fill in the unit number. If you are bringing any meds with you, including over the counters, EpiPens, rescue inhalers, you have to declare it on a Form D, and it's also the Massachusetts administer form by the state. So they have to be filled out and they have to match. Most of our slowdowns, we're making phone calls to doctors and parents. If those two don't line up together, we can only do what it says on a state form. So going forward, if they don't match, they're not going to be getting those meds. We're just going to give them back to you, and we're not going to be able to administer them at camp. Make sure everything has to match. So even on the Part C, you'll see there's an area for prescription drugs, that has to match the Part D. There can be no extras, no write-ins, nothing written on a napkin, no notes from home. It has to be on those forms and declared, and it has to be in the original pill container with the actual medicine written on it with the amount and the dosage. And
Go ahead.
if we get that and everything's filled out, we can get you guys right through med checks in 10 minutes.
Yep, and the form that's on our page, it's a very long form, but everything has to be filled out. The only thing that you don't have to include in there is if your scout does not have any medication. If there's no medication, you do not have to submit that authorization to administer, obviously, but the rest of the med form has to be filled out in its entirety. And I promise, if you do that, your med check will take what, 15 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, and we can move you along to the next area. Okay. All right. So then after med checks, you're going to head down the hill.
Has a question.
Yes.
Adult vaccination records, is it?
We only need to see, no, we only need to see if you're updated tetanus. That's the only
Tetanus.
one that's required.
Okay.
Yep. And that's a 10-year window. So if you don't have one, you can head down right to CVS or any of the Minute clinics and they can give you one.
Thank you.
Okay. And you can ask your questions in the chat while we're talking, and then we can answer them all at the end. We'll go through everything. So, all right. So unit photo forms. Those are found on our Treasure Valley website. So I want to go back to that. So if you probably already know from all the emails I've sent out, we have on our Treasure Valley webpage, there's a quick links and it takes you to every single form that you're going to need to go to camp. So in that list, you will find the photo form. If you are coming as a unit, you only need to fill out one form. And then you can just submit the money. We can take a check from the unit, or you can collect cash from your scouts when they arrive to do your check-in. But either way, so we're going to take the unit photos down in the East Lodge, which is our main lodge down by the dining pavilion in front of a really beautiful fireplace. You can take the photo in your Class A, or you could take the photo in your Class B. However, whatever you want to be photographed in is fine with us. Okay. So what we did this week, and it did work pretty well. So we need your whole group, adults and youth, to stay together through the med check. So when you park in Jamboree Field, it's a little bit of a walk to the med, not that far a walk to the health lodge, and your trailers and your cars can follow and park along the side of the road there. Everybody must check in, Jay, right?
Yes, everybody at the same time. So we can have an adult leader setting up your camp. Everyone has to be there at the same time. This will make sure we move faster, because if not, we have to wait for that adult before you can move on to the next step.
Yep, and you can send your units into camp at that all the cars. Once med checks is done, they can switch off. And we'll get to, if adults are going to be swimming, they're obviously going to have to jump in line to get in to do PFD checks and waterfront. If you have parents that are coming in and they're not staying with you, they may proceed to the site and start unpacking. So that's definitely okay. If they're not participating with you for the week, they can go down and start unloading. All right, so then after photos, you're going to stop in the kitchen and you're going to meet Kitchen Gary, who is our kitchen manager. He is going to tell you how the dining hall runs. He's going to talk all about being waiters and waitresses at the meals, and you will learn how the dining hall works, what to do, when to show up, all of that good stuff. You may even get a baked treat when you go into the dining hall. And it's really important at this time. We know you're going to put your allergies on your medication forms, all your health forms, but this is your chance to go in and talk to Gary, and he's going to take a note of what your dietary restrictions or allergies are, so he can make sure that he feeds you very well all week at camp. Let's see. So then after the kitchen, you are going to head down to do PFD checks. Obviously, want to make sure that everybody has a proper fitting life jacket, and then you will proceed on to the waterfront for your swim checks. And this is really important. If you can have your scouts either have a bathing suit under their scout shorts or just wear their bathing suit. So that way they'll be ready. We don't send units to the site first. So you want to have everybody ready to jump in the water. And that includes having a towel in their backpack and just be ready to do the swim checks. We also recommend that nobody leaves their water bottle into where everything is packed. You want to make sure everybody has a water bottle on them. It was very, very hot on Sunday, and we went around with water to make sure everybody stayed hydrated. Okay, go ahead, Cam. All right, so when you come to Treasure Valley, you're going to see lovely canvas tents throughout all of the campsites. And per Massachusetts state law, all scouts must stay in one of those canvas tents. We get a lot of questions about hammocks. Can we sleep in hammocks? They can't. So our rule is that all scouts must be in the tent. And just remember that there can't be more than a 2-year age difference between them. So adults staying overnight in camp must be registered with the BSA. They must have an updated YPT, and per the state of Massachusetts, we have to run a fresh CORI and SORI. Now, I know a lot of you probably filled out a CORI when you registered to be an adult leader, but the state of Massachusetts treats our camp like a recreational camp, like a Y camp, and they don't make any exceptions. So you as leaders coming, they consider you as unpaid volunteers, of which they need a CORI check background, and they're very, very strict about it. So what I suggest is in these 2 weeks, if you can get your med forms and your CORI checks to camp, and I'll talk about the best times to do that. You can submit your CORI and SORI by email. I have gotten a lot of them. Some people don't feel comfortable putting that over email, and a lot of them just, fold them and put them in an envelope. Many units have brought them with their health forms, which works out really, really well. And at the bottom of the CORI form, you as the unit leader just need to verify that they are who they are, and you know that they're that for their identity. All right, let's see. Appropriate swimwear for water sports. Yes, so we are not a bathing beach. We are an active waterfront with lots of activities. So we want everybody to be dressed properly. So no Speedos for the men, and ladies, no bikinis. We have to keep it all rated PG at the waterfront. And for girls, they can definitely wear a tankini as long as it's modest. So that's totally fine. Okay, go ahead, Cam. Okay, so all of you should have received an email from me that had these 4 attachments. They're really, really important, and they're going to help protect you and me when parents come at us with questions. Why didn't this happen? Why did this happen? So the refund policy clearly states, what we can give for a refund. If one of your scouts is homesick and goes home on Tuesday, we can't give a refund for that. It has to be for something medical or something really substantial that, like a death in the family, summer school, something like that at that point. We have the health and safety policy. That's really important. And I know you can't make the parents read it all, but by you forwarding it on, it covers a lot of ground. And by the state of Massachusetts needs us to show them that we have gotten this out to you. So the health and safety policy will explain everything to them. The discipline policy, what we do when there's bad behavior, and how far it has to go, whether we can get you involved or they end up leaving camp. It's all explained in the discipline policy. And we also have to send out the meningococcal form just to let parents know all about that. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign it. You just have to make them aware of it. So after you've done that, then, so you can have visitors to camp this year. Visitors and you as participants, you and your scouts must check in and out when entering and leaving the property. So we know who's on the property all times in case of an emergency. So this year we have something new. So we have a visitor's log for people that are not staying with your troop, and they can just sign in and out. But for anybody who is on a roster, we have a special sign in and out. So they're going to go right to your roster and then just put when they're checking in and out. That way our clerk can keep track of it better instead of scrolling through the visitor form. All right, and your visitors are welcome to stay for meals. Meals are $10, and you can pay Mara at the front desk, and then you can head down and have a meal. All right, so we have our special programs. So let's talk about our ATV program first. So we've had a great inaugural class. The course is great. The trail ride is great. The scouts who have done it has had a really great time. We have a great course director, Kelly Muniz. If any of you know her, she's a great volunteer in our council. So she and Jeff Harris are taking on the task of training everybody up for ATV. So every single person that signs up for the ATV gets a welcome email with all the instructions on how to participate. So we have our camp clerk every day. She checks it. When a new person signs up, she sends them out the email with all the information. She's been doing a great job with that. So participants must wear proper equipment and gear. Okay, so you must have long pants. It doesn't have to be jeans or anything. They just must be long and cover your legs. You have to have a long sleeve shirt or jacket. I don't suggest the jacket. So we had a couple kids in week 1 wear sweatshirts out there, and it was really, really hot. So we please recommend that they do not wear, that they just get a long sleeve shirt. Will be really good. They need boots that cover their ankles, and they need gloves with a grip like a mechanic's glove. And of course, there's paperwork with the ATV program. So they must come to camp with a signed waiver, a signed hold harmless agreement, and they must take an e-course online before they show up to camp on Sunday. Everyone has submitted them so far. We haven't had any issues. I can't stress enough that, the paperwork is really important. And when you come in, you can just drop it off to the leader meeting. So when you come in on Sunday, we have a 5 o'clock leaders meeting. Just hold any kind of paperwork for these special programs, except for the cowboy action shooting, which we're going to get to that. Okay, let's see. All right, so that's it for the ATV. So the ATV is not going to start on Monday. So you can have your scouts attend their alternate merit badge classes if they picked it for the afternoon, because the ATV runs from 1 to 5 p.m. And then on Sunday of check-in, I will give you a list of everyone who has signed up in your unit, so you know who's going, and you can make sure that they get what they need.
And we'll also inform them which day they'll be participating in it, because ATV is only 1 day, and all of the other days they'll have the opportunity to go to the badge of their choice. The counselors that we have here are aware of the fact that that scouts participating in the ATV program will be missing 1 day, and they are willing to make up the requirements that your scouts may miss on that day, whether it's during a free block, an evening program, or if they find another time.
Thanks, Cam. That's the program portion of our ATV. So thank you for that. All right, so we also have our, so cowboy action shooting. You have to be 14 years old in order to participate. And there is a waiver that everybody must sign, the parents must sign. Those can be handed in along with your medical forms. And the health team is going to give them a special colored wristband. So they know, so when they show up at the shooting range, that the instructors know that they're good to go and they're all signed off. And Cam, when is cowboy action shooting on the calendar right now?
I think they have it on Thursday night.
Thursday night, and I know there's a second
Thursday.
time too.
I think Tuesday.
Yep, and we're also opening it up to adults. For those that aren't familiar with cowboy action shooting, it's a special 1-to-1 supervision. You get to shoot a pistol, a rifle, and a double-barrel shotgun at the targets in our range, and it's been really cool. The scouts have really enjoyed participating in that. All right, so that's it for cowboy action. We have our drone program. If anybody has signed up We will also let you know for all these things on the Sunday, we'll let you know who in your unit has signed up for special programs. So the drone program takes place down on Boonesville. Right now we have it scheduled for Tuesday night. And we have a special guest that will be coming in to put on the program. All right, the Horsemanship Merit Badge. We dropped off our first scouts this week. We didn't have anybody week 1, but we have the classes full this week. And so this program takes place off the property a couple miles down the road at Camp Marshall. And our paramedic and an adult leader accompanies the scouts, and they stay while they're there. So we leave and get there for 1 o'clock. So we meet right after lunch at the tents, and then we travel them all there. And it's usually done about an hour and 15, an hour and a half class, depending on what she's teaching that day. So they're really going to miss block 3 and 4, and they will have free block. Is that correct, Cam?
Yes.
Yes. Cam knows the schedule. I know the rules. So we are a good pair for information. So, and all those participants also got a reminder email because there's waivers to sign away for. You have to have long pants, 1-inch heel boots, and gloves. And I'm going to tell you something. So they're only on the horse 1 day out of the 4 days that they're there. So I really wouldn't go out and spend a lot of money on boots. If you don't have them, ask around, see if anybody can loan them to you, because they're really only going to be using them for 1 day for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So just a heads up for that. Okay, go ahead, Cam.
All right, thank you, Kelly. So now it's my turn to talk. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Cam Ganong, and I'm the program director. So I believe that I've been in contact with most, if not all of you, regarding merit badge registrations. So thank you for sending me all of your forms ahead of time. That makes my job so much easier, placing all of your scouts into the badges that they like and want to take. So I will be sending out merit badge confirmations sometime this week. I'm just waiting on a couple of forms left before I can send that out. So I am missing the merit badge form from Troop 210 Southampton. So if they're here, if they could send that to me as soon as possible, that would be wonderful. So I wanted to touch on blue cards. So blue cards will be available in all of the areas. All of our staff have them, and they will be collecting them throughout the week. If you'd like to supply your troop with their own blue cards, they can just bring them right to the class and give it to our instructors, and they will hold on to them. They'll sign them, and then all blue cards will come to us in McGee on Friday, and we're going to sort through them all and sort them into the different units and hand them out on Saturday morning with all of the rest of the checkout materials. This really eliminates the process of scouts losing their blue cards. So that is the way that we wanted to run it this year. If your unit is planning on leaving earlier, so like a Friday night after the campfire, you just let me know as soon as possible, and we will definitely expedite the process for your unit's blue cards. I just wanted to put a reminder in there that archery was moved from blocks 4 and 5 to blocks 1 and 2. I know that the old merit badge registration form had it as blocks 4 and 5. So I have been in contact with a couple of you to switch it over to 1 and 2. The full badges that are in your week right now are robotics, fishing, rifle, and shotgun. So if you did have scouts that signed up for that, a couple of them may be moved into their alternates due to the popularity of the badges throughout the summer and the amount of scouts that signed up for it. So going into our scheduling, so for the Order of the Arrow call out ceremony, this will be Friday evening during the closing flag ceremony this year. That's at 4:45 p.m. right before dinner. So parents are allowed to attend and they can check in at McGee if they would like to do that. We do have our Catamount Lodge chief on our staff. His name is Nick Hunter, and he is our operations commissioner. So you'll be seeing him at all of our unit leader meetings in the mornings. And he's going to be taking the names of the scouts that have been elected and have yet to be inducted into the Order of the Arrow. He just wants to check the names ahead of time so that we can call out and recognize everyone for their achievement. And for any unit that is out of council, we can definitely call out your scouts. We just need to check with your home council, make sure that it's okay, but we can definitely call them out. For the weekly schedule, so please refer to your site binders when you get here and the online TVSR mobile app for the correct schedule. Since the original schedule went out, there have been a couple minor changes and updates. The main ones being some of the early morning programs. On Tuesday, we had it listed as Polar Bear Plunge, but that is now Rise and Rappel on Tuesday. And on Thursday, we had Rise and Rappel, and that's now Polar Bear Plunge. So it just did a quick switch right there. So Rise and Rappel Tuesday, Polar Bear Plunge Thursday. Also in the original schedule, we had morning flags at East Lodge. There is no flagpole at East Lodge still, so morning flags will be on Boonsville, where all flags will be held throughout the week. And the final change was just to elaborate on the game show. So this year's game show is Are You Smarter Than a Staff Member? And we're so excited to do this one. It's very interactive with the scouts. And so far they've had a great time. We're running it in an hour for the second time, and I'm so excited for it. And one last point here, the Scoutmaster Dutch Oven Cook-Off. So this is one of my favorite evening programs because I get to try what you all make, especially with the theme being dessert. That really makes me excited for that event. So this will be Tuesday night. All you have to do is supply the ingredients. We have all the Dutch ovens, we supply the charcoal and everything like that. You just have to bring a great recipe and the ingredients and just make it there during evening program on Tuesday nights. I also wanted to touch on the theme this year. So this year we are Lunar Valley. We have a space theme, and our staff have been working so hard over these past couple weeks in order to ensure that we're providing a program that is out of this world. So we can't wait for you all to get here and enjoy the theme. We have a couple different interactive activities for your scouts to participate in that are camp wide throughout the week that I think that they'll really enjoy. All right. Are there any questions? I see a couple in the chat. All right, Kelly, I have a question for you.
Yes.
All right, so if a unit does not have any extra adults, are the leaders going to be driving the cars with the gear to the center of the camp as the kids are walking down for med checks?
So if they're in line for something, yeah, let's see. Do you have any parents that could come along that day, to help monitor and drop off? That would really be the best option. And if you have to, once you're done check-in, you can move all the stuff to the site. So you don't have to move it when the scouts are going through the check. We can make sure that, so we call it the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill, right? So you're going to be in Jamboree at the top of the hill with your cars. And if you just walk with your scouts through all of check-in, you can have one leader walk the scouts to the site, and then we can, bring you up and help you get to the top of the hill in a timely fashion. So it doesn't take you 25 minutes to walk up there. So yes. So my advice would be if you could bring in some extra parents, or you can bring in all the stuff once your check-in process is complete.
So Kelly, because that was my question.
Okay,
If we don't have any extra leaders, we're then having to bring all the kids with us because we don't have, if one of us goes, that means both of, that's leaving the kids with one leader.
right. I'm sorry. Yes, so, are you gonna be with the members of your other trio there?
I hope so.
Okay. All right, and if you need a staff member, we can put an 18 plus staff, 21 plus staff member, with you, to help you out with all of that. So we'll make it work, Amy. You just let me know and we'll help you get there and make sure we do it all safe, with YPT.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Kelly, should adults bring their own tents or can they stay in canvas tents?
So they can stay. So what's going to happen is, once I get your final numbers and I finalize the campsites, depending on how full the campsite is, so for this week, I had to send out the email to the leaders saying that we are at max capacity. There is some room in the canvas tents for the adults, because we did factor that in. If you have extra adults, and there's room, you can absolutely stay in the canvas tent, but as adults, you are free to also put up your own tent if you feel more comfortable with that. And the majority of the sites have plenty of room for that. I wouldn't bring an 8-person, house tent, but, definitely something that you'll be comfortable in for the week. So it's your choice. You can stay in the canvas or you can put up your own. And you can hang in a hammock. A lot of adults hang in the hammocks, so.
Are there any other questions? Feel free to unmute if you have one.
What's the earliest time I can check in midweek?
Like in the morning?
Yeah,
So we unlock the McGee office around at 7 o'clock. So,
okay,
and if our clerk is not there, the sign-in book is literally right when you walk in the door. So you can sign in and grab a visitor's pass that will hang over your neck, and you are good to go to head down into the camp.
okay. I'll be staying through the end of the week, so I'm a leader.
Okay.
I probably
But
won't.
yeah,
get
so
to
the
leave at 7.
McGee office is in the center of camp. So for those that aren't familiar, coming to us for the first time, we have a large main paved road that runs through camp. And it'll take you down to the McGee office, and that is where Cam and I have our offices. It's also my residence for the summer. So that's where I will be. So as soon as I get out of the shower, I will unlock the door and you guys can come in and check in and out. So there's that. And then, yep, so that's checking in and out is easy. Our dining hall is completely stocked with people working in there. We are feeding our 250 scouts pretty seamlessly this week, and the food has been really, really good. It's amazing what a full kitchen staff can do with rotating kitchen staff, and they're not exhausted and dying. So it is a very, well, it was exhausting last summer for all of you that were with us. It was a rough summer for the kitchen. So we are really excited. It's a very high performing kitchen. I have to say, our staff this year, we've been together for 3 years, and the majority of, I'd say over 85% of them are returning staff with a lot of years of experience under their belt. And I really feel like year 3, we are really performing this year. The areas are great. We've got a lot of new things. We've got a big 20-foot bouncer down on the waterfront, which is really awesome. The kids can go out there, bounce around. And we've gotten some really good feedback about that. We have a brand new volleyball court down on the sports field. It's right next to our basketball court. We just finished building a new Gaga pit. Unfortunately, the Eager Ranger staff filled it with too much sand, and we went down there, and the kids, your knees are above the Gaga pit pretty much. So we have to go empty it. But just the little tweaks that we have to do. So it's kind of funny. So we just have to tweak that. Cam, what else new do we have this year? Electech.
Yeah, so we have 2 brand new areas. We have Electech and VoCTech, so electricity and technology and vocational technology. So Electech is the brand new STEM area. So that has badges such as robotics, electricity, electronics, photography, digital technology, everything like that is there, and that is down in the Mohegan Lodge. Because that is now in Mohegan Lodge, we had to move the Scoutmaster Lounge. So that is on the side of the trading post facing Pine Point. And we decorated it, refurnished it. So now, and it has air conditioning and coffee throughout the day. So that is definitely a great place that you can go to get away from the day-to-day activities and relax.
We also put a tea kettle in there, and my trading post people have never seen an electric tea kettle. You might have thought that I showed them the best new thing in the world, but it was great. They're like, oh my God, I didn't know this thing existed. Like, it was great. So we have tea and coffee down there, and it's adjacent to the trading post, so you can go in and get a snack or anything else that you need in there. We're very pleased to say that we've rebranded a lot of our apparel. So there's new stuff to buy. New logos, new shirts. We used a new vendor this year, and they really came through. Like, the quality of the apparel is really good. We have some really cool hats, and the trading post is just filled with all kinds of good stuff for everybody to buy. I was at horsemanship with one of the kids today, and I said, okay, you've got free block, where are you going? And he's like, trading post. And that was the stock answer for everybody for the most part. Yep, so I see, yeah, we can have 2 cars per units in the site. There's plenty of room in our sites, and we want to make sure that all the units can get in and out, the adults when they need to, in an emergency, so.
Kelly, can they mail medical forms via USPS?
Yes, lots of units have sent them, and it's really easy. They put their query stories in there, and they just come here, and I hand them to Jay and the med team, and they can start going through them.
Yeah,
So.
we just started going through your week's med forms, so you'll probably be hearing from Nurse Casey or myself within the week if they're missing anything or we have questions. If you sent them in already. Of course, if you have them already, you're not going to hear from us at all.
Not yet. But even it would make a difference, even if you can't get them to us this week. And so the thing is that we're here at camp all the time now. So, anytime you want to stop down in McGee, the clerk is there from 8 to 7 o'clock, not counting the meal times, which is 8, noon, and 5 p.m. But she will be there, we'll be around. If you can't find anybody and you want to talk to me, you can just have one of the staff members radio me. And if you haven't been to camp before, you can drive your med forms if you're in driving distance. And I'd be happy to show you around the camp, show you the sites and everything going on. I love to give tours. It's the best part of being the camp director. So I get to ride around on my little golf cart and show everybody everything. So I'd be more than happy to do that. I just ask that you just give me a heads up when you'll be coming, just so I can prepare for the time. So. We don't have lunch is not served on Sunday. So units either have their scouts come already having some food. A lot of units also have the scouts pack a lunch and they eat them either in Jamboree Field or partway through the med check. So yeah, so the first meal on Sunday is dinner. For everybody bringing bikes, we do allow bikes here at Treasure Valley. We are definitely, with all the rain, there's a no bike policy while the roads are wet, because we want to we don't want to have accidents and everyone wiping out on the wet weather. So we're really going to leave it up to you to make sure if the roads are wet, you have to limit the bikes. And then once it's dry, you can give them the go ahead to do it.
Kelly, sorry, I was typing, but did you go over the site guides in Jambo Field?
I did, but I can go over it again. So every unit that arrives in camp is going to be assigned a site guide, and we assign them, we have some new staffers, and if if you're a new unit coming, we really try to be sure that we put you with an experienced staff member who can make sure that they give you all the answers that you need. So we do take care in doing that. So you meet your site guide, and the site guide will accompany you the whole way through the med check. you can ask them questions. They'll tell you about all the stops along the way. And we've had some really, really good feedbacks. Our guides have been doing a really great job managing everyone. One of our staff members managed 50 people for the long check-in that we had on Sunday, and he did a great job. So you will have that guide, and they will check you in, and they will check your sites at the end of the week for checkout.
Yes, and those guides during the initial process of checking in, they do a bike inspection, they do the campsite inspection, they go through all the tents with your SBL to make sure there's no bee nests, beehives, any rips, anything like that. So they do go over all of that, and they do the bike inspection.
And I'm also going to tell you about something that a medical thing that happened week 1.
Oh,
Trench foot. So Jay is going to talk to you about trench foot right now, because it's real and it happens here in Treasure Valley.
So yeah, with all the rain, please make sure your scouts and adults, it's like the military, change your socks, check each other's feet. We've had probably over 20 cases of trench foot. It's unpleasant, it's smelly. It takes a long time to cure. So usually they have to suffer through the entire camp with it. But make sure they change their socks. If they, when they're in camp, wear Crocs or some sort of shoe that allows their feet to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, and it still has to be, we can't, people will have on sandals, and it's just really not safe, to be wearing it, trekking through all the terrain of camp. If it's not too late, you can send an email out to the parents, just make sure they have sandals that have a closed toed. You can have an open sandal as long as the toe is covered, like a Teva or something like that. They can walk around in Crocs. It's not ideal, but it's better than getting trench foot if they don't have a second pair of shoes. So, try to get everyone to bring at least 2 pairs of shoes. I know I have a waterproof pair of hikers, and then on the dry days, I wear my sneakers. So can give everything a chance to dry out. And everything was really wet week 1, and our commissioners did a great job of getting everyone dry. One unit decided, because they were from Pennsylvania, they just headed to the laundromat and dried everything, and that worked. But if you have 1 or 2 wet sleeping bags, we can definitely take care of that for you.
I also did want to mention for some of the merit badges, there are some kits that need to be bought from the trading post. This includes wood carving, leather work, basketry, space exploration, Indian lore, welding, and electronics. So for those, I know not all of those were mentioned in the prereqs section of the merit badges, such as welding and electronics, but they were added after due to some of the costs.
And speaking of the trading post, we are offering the postcards again this year, so you can put money on a little credit card for them. If you go online, it's got, if you go on the quick links, there's a trading post link. It'll take you to that, and you can buy, you can put in different increments of money on the card. We've had a lot of people give their $100. So, some lucky kid is going to get to spend $100 at camp. But, we encourage them to handle and spend money and help them to learn that. But a lot of parents really, really wanted the postcards, so we brought them back this year. You can go right online and purchase them on that TVSR quick links. And then we'll have it. Mara, our clerk, checks it every day. She sends Tyler an update of all the new ones. So if you've purchased one, let your scout know, and they can go in and ask for their postcard. Was that a question, Cam?
Yeah, I'm covering it.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Hey, this is Don from 382. Did you guys get our medical forms? We just sent them in on Friday. Or would you know that yet?
382. Oh, wait, there's some. Just picked up some. This may be yours. Let's see. Nope, that's 251. When did you mail them?
On Friday.
On Friday. No, I don't see them yet, but that doesn't mean they won't show up tomorrow.
I just got a stack from Mara today that I have not gone through, so we have a few we haven't seen yet.
Okay. All right.
Want to send me an email in the next 24 hours and follow up with that? We'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we have the I think we sent it with tracking, so we can send you the tracking number. All right, thanks.
Mhm. So the trading post, we don't open on Sunday. It opens on Monday morning. If there is something that you need from the trading post, it's really important because we have, you know, basic toiletries and items in there. We can get you in there. But it's more of a day of just getting into your site. It's a really busy day. So after the check-in, we have our leaders meeting at 5 o'clock, 4:30, sorry, 4:30. So all the leaders, once you're settled in your site, will head over to the dining tent. And we'll have our first leaders meeting, get you accustomed to everything going on. And then we have dinner, and he has a great first Sunday meal. I won't tell you what it is. You can be surprised, but it's a quite hearty all-American meal. And then after dinner, we head down, we have church services. So we offer a Catholic Mass and we offer a Scouts own service. And the Catholic Mass is down on Pine Point, which is near the waterfront. And the Scouts own service is on Upper Boonsville, like by the waterfront. And that's where that Mass will be. And then right after that, we go right into opening flags down on Boonsville with Class A's. We welcome everybody officially, and then we head into the camper campfire. I mean, the staff skit campfire. It's really good this year. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We got a lot of laughs. So it follows our Lunar Valley space theme. So if you feel free to decorate your sites, you will get extra points from the commissioners if you have any decorations in your site towards the Golden Broom. And we've had units definitely use the theme. So it's kind of been fun to see. So yeah, so Sunday's just go, 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 go. But you know, if you need something from the post that you've forgotten, let us know and we will get you in there 100%. So.
Kelly, is the trading post open on Sunday?
No, I just said that. Cam, that's something I would do. Come on now.
Is the refund policy for adults the same for Scouts?
You know, if you have an adult, it is the same, you know, because we've paid for everything. If you can switch off with another adult, you know, that would be great. If you can find somebody else to take the spot, that's usually what happens. So, and when you come in on Sunday, and right now at this point, if you want to add more Scouts or adults, do not send us any money. Just bring it on check-in day. Mara will be up right first in line before med checks, and she will have your actual printed out invoice of all the payments you've done. You can see what you owe, and then you can just write a check. So the theme is a space theme. It's a Lunar Valley, and we have all sorts of space themes in there. There is Star Trek in there. There's Star Wars. It's all kinds of space things, but yeah, our theme is Lunar Valley, and the kids have a great skit to tell the tale of it. So.
Any other questions?
Yeah, how much is Cub Scout Adventure Camp?
This is my son Ryan. He's the Cub Scout Adventure Camp director. So if you have any Cub Scouts that are interested in signing up, we still have room.
How much is Cub Scout?
How much?
Cub Scout Adventure Camp is $250. Well, actually, day camp is $250, which is a steal because last year it used to be $310.
That is a deal.
That is a deal. It really is.
So come on down to Cub Scout Adventure Camp. It's lit.
Thank you, Ryan. Yep, that was an impromptu, but you know, he's trying to plug that camp. We got to fill that camp with people. So the prices in the guidebook, what are the prices for?
Prices for each of the kits.
Oh,
For all of the ones that I mentioned should already be on the merit badge form, the merit badge schedule, other than electronics and welding, and those aren't going to be any more than $15. So I believe they're 10 to 15.
So it's not a TVSR phone app per se. It's through the Remind system. So you don't even have to download the Remind app. All you have to do is you want to text at TVSR week 4 to the number 81010, and you're going to get an instant response. Thank you for signing up for Remind. So you don't have to download any app or anything like that. We do have the TVSR mobile app, which is in the quick links in as well. And that will take you to all of the forms. The quick links is the TVSR mobile app. So if you're looking for a Corey form, if you're looking for the shooting sports waiver, it is literally all in one place. So yeah, honestly, for you guys to have, you guys are going to have a great week with all of us. Yes, definitely. But you know, the med forms are really the hump that you have to get over as scout leaders. Like seriously, that's your biggest hurdle. You've got the meds and the health forms, everything else is all downhill from there, you know. So it's really important, you know, help us make your check-in very efficient, and it'll be great for everybody. The sooner we can get you checked in and into your campsite before dinner, the better, the more, that's what we feel as success, like to move it quick. So, and you're not going to get slowed down at the waterfront. Lucas is returning for a second year as waterfront. He's great. They are rocking and rolling. Very excited. They got voted our area of the week from the leaders and the scouts. They were very, very excited to take that title. So they're doing really good. No, we can't wait to see you all. We're really excited. We have a great staff, a great program, and you're going to have a good time. So just pray that it's not too rainy or too hot. That would be perfect. So. All right. So if anyone doesn't have any questions, if you want to talk to me or Cam after, you can just stay on and we can answer a few more questions. If everyone feels like they're good, they are free to log off. And of course, you know where to find me. You know how to email me. Nope, you need to sign up again. We're using a new channel. So use what Cam just texted you in the chat. But yeah, don't wonder, ask me. We want to make sure that your time here is very efficient and fun. So, all right. So thanks. Yep.
Please,
go ahead, Cam.
Please reach out to me if you make any updates within your spreadsheets. I'm not able to check them every day. So however it was when you first sent me, that's the version that I have. So if you have updated it since then, please just shoot me a quick message and I'll be able to see the changes and the updates that you made. But yes, thank you everyone so much for taking the time out of your night to come to this meeting. And we're so excited to be able to host all of you in just 2 short weeks.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.